Property, interest-free loans, sponsorships, work done outside of Parliament and directorships. These are on the list of what MPs have to declare to Parliament.
This is to ensure that there's an ethical standard for those who hold public office, to ensure that they always act in the best interests of the country as per their solemn oaths of office. And so it's really to ensure that we have credible elected representatives that must disclose their personal financial interests and property interests in this register annually to Parliament, much of which is open to public scrutiny.
This year, International Relations and Cooperation Minister Ronald Lamola hit the jackpot when it came to gifts. A portrait of himself from the League of Arab States, a mask of Tutankhamun from the Egyptian Ministry, and a gift set labelled as Always Be Happy Special from the Embassy of Korea were among his declarations. Deputy President Paul Mashatile also received a painting of himself, but what caught the most attention is the 3 properties he listed, 2 in Gauteng and 1 in Constantia in the Western Cape. According to reports, this house was previously owned by Mashatile's son-in-law. This year, the Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests announced that all members of Parliament had complied and that there were no late disclosures. This is, however, not always the case.
Honourable members, I just want to say this is unacceptable. It's also objectionable and deserving of serious consequences.
These MPs were rapped over the knuckles by NA Speaker Toko Didiza for failure to disclose timeously in the previous reporting year.
And ultimately, the Speaker and the Chairperson of the NCOP need to take control of the situation, ensure that there's adequate information provided to members of Parliament of the importance of completing these declarations on time and in full, so that we don't end up in this situation. And I think part of the problem is that the reprimands are of a fairly slight and generous nature, so they don't impact on members of Parliament, and that's perhaps something that needs to be relooked at. The ethics code needs to be relooked at as well in terms of the kind of information that is required to be disclosed.
Naidu believes there needs to be greater disclosure when it comes to personal finances. He says this is part of the greater conversation around lifestyle audits, which he believes must be extended to members of Parliament. Naidu says that there is currently a crisis of credibility in the country and levels of trust in Parliament need to be addressed. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.